a fistful of headroom. All right. Welcome back to Getting Sober, Again, my name is Jay, and today we are going to talk about feelings. You have them, I have them. Let's talk about them. But first, I want to thank you for having subscribed to this channel. We're over 400 subscribers now. So thank you very much for all of the support. I never really thought when I started this, when I started this channel, I really had no expectations, which is, I think, is one of the healthier approaches in life to anything, whether it be alcoholism, whatever, dating. But having no expectations in the beginning was just kind of like, I just wanted to get a message out there. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to share my experience, not knowing what the direction of the channel would be or what it would look like. I wasn't planning on it being in black and white in the beginning, which I don't know if I mentioned this, but like, you know, I do it in black and white because I've always been a fan of like 1950s, like Hollywood, you know, like glamour kind of Hollywood, like the old movies, the old black and white movies. And it was always like dramatic lighting. Actually, I forgot, I should move this light. Whoa, crazy light, I'm right there. And adds that little bit of shine to the side of my face. And I think that's how, this is my personal favorite lighting setup. But so anyway, I had no idea like what the channel direction was gonna be, or I didn't have a whole bunch of topics really written down. I just wanted to get up and talk about my experiences with getting sober, maybe offer some relatable advice, you know, some practical wisdom as it's been pointed out to me. And then, you know, go from there. So now this is over, I think I started in November, I think, 2018. And now at the time of recording this is February 2021. I took a hiatus, as some of you know. I took a hiatus, and some of you were nice enough to continue to ask me where I was. And I didn't want to tell anybody where I was or what I was doing because it was not conducive to the overall message of this channel. I was needing to get sober again after I started the channel called Getting Sober, again. So thank you all for your support, and thank you for liking the videos, and thank you for all of the commenting, because again, the trifecta of liking, commenting, and subscribing helps YouTube show this channel and these videos to other people. So I thank you, and I thank you for supporting also the other people that I have listed below. I'm not really affiliated with anybody except for, you know, recently Seth Perry has been reaching out to me in the comments, and we've been kind of collaborating on some ideas together. So again, shout out to Seth Perry, and his link is down below, along with all of the other links for the most part that I talk about. I think that moving forward, I'm going to continue to add more and more resources and just kind of like leave them in the more about section. If you click down below, there'll be all of the links. So like all the links for my photography and videography gear are down there already. Some of my favorite YouTubers are already down there. You can link to their channels because, you know, this is a community, it's not a competition, right? And what else is down there? Oh, some other sobriety links, like to that Quitzilla app that I always talk about. So if you have Android or if you have an iPhone, those links are down there. And then I'm currently working on a topic. I'm about done writing the episode for microdosing. So if any of you are into microdosing, or if you're curious about microdosing, I am going to give my opinion, because again, all these videos are opinions. It is not medical advice. I am not a medical professional. I am just somebody who has a lot of experience with the topic, as I'm sure you do also. So with that being said, end of monologue. Let's talk about feelings. If you have feelings, comment below. I know I definitely have some feelings. One nice thing, you know, about sobriety, as you may or may not know, currently as the recording of this video, after having gotten sober again and again and again and again and again and again, I am I'm almost at 4 months of sobriety from alcohol. And on the 25th here of February, I will be 2 months free of cigarettes. So thank you. Appreciate it. Cigarettes, I always kind of like, I'll talk about that a little bit too. That's not really the point of today's topic, but it's just a streamline of consciousness, right? It's a vlog. It's a vlog style podcast. It has to do with sobriety. So really, you know, all relevant information is good information, I think. We'll see. But, you know, cigarettes, maybe you know or not, I talked about in a previous video, but who watches all of them? I don't know. I talked about, I started smoking in, I think, 2000 and maybe 4 or 2005. And I dressed up as Slash, the lead guitarist for Guns N' Roses. And he always had a lit cigarette hanging from his mouth. So that weekend, for Halloween weekend, I was Slash. So I always had a lit, I guess I could have just had a cigarette hanging from my mouth. I could have had candy cigarettes, which would have been funnier. And I wish if I could go back in time, I would have chose to do that instead and not actually light the cigarettes, because I was disgusted by cigarettes. I hated cigarettes. I don't like the smell, even, still to this day, even when I was smoking, I didn't like the smell. I didn't like the taste. I didn't like what my breath was like afterwards. Even when I was in relationships, as a service to them, I'd always brush my teeth and gargle and all that and wash my face and try to get that smell off my hands and off my face, so that in case they wanted to be close to me, at least I would be presentable, right? I was kind of like a health conscious addict, for lack of a better phrase. Even like with drinking, I still ate really healthy. Even when I was binge drinking, I still went to the gym. I still ate healthy. So those are still my habits today. So creating healthy habits, it's a great thing to fall back on, because once you've created and established a healthy habit, then you have that moving forward. So at least since I was 18, I always had a membership to a gym somewhere, and I always took my health seriously. I do play tennis, I ride my bike and all that stuff. So it is important to mental health, and that does have to do with feelings, because, one of the things that about today's society is that we're no longer, if we think about like our ancestral roots, back in the natural world, when we were just kind of cave dwelling people, when we were just looking for any shelter to be in, and fearing for our safety, looking for the next meal, whatever the next meal might be. And then, next closest source of water, whatever your just basic needs were that you could meet on your very limited and probably short lifespan, right? Now here we are in this very unnatural world where before we used to have to hunt for food or forage for food. Either way, we were using our bodies and our minds to figure out how to get from point A to B, the most efficient way to stay alive, and then to find food, hunt food, collect food, transport food, and we were using all of our body. And nowadays, we're not using all of our body in an actual practical, real way. We're using our bodies, really all we're using our bodies for. We don't hunt food out in the plains anymore. We hunt for the lowest prices on the shelf, or not even on the shelf anymore. We're hunting for the lowest deal and the best deals in our inbox or on Amazon or on eBay or, whatever shopping subscription that you have. We're looking for the lowest prices to get DoorDash or Uber Eats sent to our house. And we're using our bodies and our minds in a very artificial way compared to what we were, naturally, I guess, I don't know if you want to say designed for, but, what we're used to. And being able to actually use your body, one of the greatest joys, in my opinion, one of the greatest pleasures of being a human being in this time and place, in this place where we don't have to fear about getting eaten by lions and bears and, natural predators. We don't have to worry about neighboring tribes, not, depending on where you live, but we don't have to worry about neighboring tribes with different languages wanting to encroach on our territory or cause harm to us and take from us what we have. It's a pretty good time to be alive. And when we live in this artificial environment, it's not something that we do by using our bodies. We use our bodies in artificial ways. So one of the greatest things about being a human being is getting to play, getting to socialize and getting to play. And one thing that I want to remind you about is, right now, a lot of people are struggling with mental health during COVID. And a lot of people were also dealing and struggling with their mental health before COVID. But if we can think about how we feel now and how we felt then, this is a good opportunity to remember and think about how things were in the past. And you think about expressing gratitude for what we have or what we had. And if in the past we thought about like, well, I was depressed, or like, nothing was fun, or I was bored all the time, or I don't know, I just didn't really relate to people. And then all of a sudden the world shut down, and then it's like you lost a lot of options for entertainment, and for socializing in general. We lost a lot of those opportunities. And then if you live in a cold place like I do, we can't even just artificially really entertain ourselves by, say, going to like a movie theater, or to some bars and restaurants don't even exist anymore. Some places that I used to go to don't exist anymore. Concert venues, not open. A lot of movie theaters, not open. A lot of things that we would normally do for entertainment and pleasure are just not even available. So that's one thing to keep in mind when we think about our feelings and how we are feeling, right? Is to like really like actually step back and take a moment to evaluate and observe what is the evidence of how you're feeling. How are you like? Is it valid how you're feeling, or is it circumstantial? Is it circumstantial, and is it temporary? And if we ask ourselves those questions and we actually sit down and we evaluate, okay, it is winter, it's cold outside. I can't be outside. I can't use my body. I can't play. How many adults, once you get to a certain age, you worry about like your health insurance and things like that. It's like, well, I can't. Well, when I was a kid, I used to play. Like when I was a kid, when we graduated high school, or when we were in high school, but after I turned 18, became a legal adult, I was still like living at home and going to community college, and we would play like full contact, like bloody nose, sprained ankles, contact football. and especially in the winter when it was snowing during football season, it would be snowing and slushy and crappy outside, and our noses are running down our face, but it was exhilarating. We would get that rush and actually use our bodies for an objective other than counting repetitions, curling a bar, and then putting the bar back away. That's so artificial. And going I go to the gym every day, or I try to go to the gym every day. I try my best just to keep fitting in my clothes. But it's an artificial environment. I go and you just run in place on a treadmill, and then you're done, and then you do something else just to exert some energy and to use your muscles and to keep them toned. And it's like, keep them toned for what? Aesthetic value. That's not natural. We are not even really using our bodies for a practical purpose, right? We go to the gym, we lift these heavy weights, we get some tone and some definition, or we lose some weight, or whatever your objective is. And then at best, we build some natural endorphins. And that's really all that I'm doing it for, because it's not like I'm testing my strength. I'm not like doing all this because I wonder if like World Strongman competition is going to come to town, or like, fit people in their upper 30s competition is going to show up to town and be like, oh, I'm totally ready for this. Look how many pull-ups I can do. It's just for my personal health. It's just for my overall well-being. And that's one of the things that we need to think about and really pay attention to when we decide to get sober, is the feelings that we're going to have and the feelings that we previously had, and comparing the two. But it's not something that we're gonna have an amazing one day overwhelming revelation. Like nothing is gonna work, like nothing unfortunately works like drugs or alcohol, right? They're designed to work a certain way. They're designed to get you hooked. They're designed to make you keep wanting them and keep buying them. But with regard to like feeling good, when we want feelings on demand, this is a phrase that I keep saying all the time, and hopefully this will become a worldwide phenomenon, but that's, feelings on demand is a very real thing. If you say like, well, I was at work and I wasn't feeling very good about myself or the work that I do or the relationship that I'm in, and now I want to change that. So let's go to happy hour, and then you change how you feel, right? Or if you smoke marijuana, smoke cannabis products, you want to change how you feel. You want to relieve some anxiety. You want to relieve some stress, and you want to change how you feel. You want to have feelings on demand. If you take uppers, if you take downers, if you take whatever it is, you're going to try to change your physiology. You're going to try to change your mental and your emotional state. And then, which also then too contributes to changing your behavioral state. And that's something that's going to be tricky for us, because we were used to medicating. We're used to having an instant change of feeling, an instant change of heart, going from dull and reserved about maybe just your overall sense of purpose and well-being, to having a really quick pick-me-up, having a shot in a beer or a glass of wine. And again, I hope I'm not triggering you. Like I remember I was there too. Like it was just however many months ago, 4 months ago, that I was also drinking still and indulging in whatever I felt like indulging to make me feel good in an unnatural way. But whenever we want feelings and demands, we have to get ourselves out of the mindset of self-medicating. We're used to being able to hit that easy button, just slapping that easy button and just keep slapping that easy button. But eventually, just like anything else that we overdo and overuse, it tends to stop working. And I'm not speaking for everybody, but that's how it was for me. Your tolerance to certain things, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you need a little of becomes a little bit more and becomes a little bit more and it becomes a little bit more. And that's either if it's coming from a bartender, a drug dealer, or a pharmacist, it's gonna have the same effect. You're gonna get used to it, you're gonna need more. You're gonna get used to that, you're gonna need more, you're gonna get used to that, and you're gonna need a little bit more. And so that is the cycle that we need to get out of, and then get back to a base and try to have some natural feelings again. And I'll say for sure, after these, the last, I don't know where you are on your journey, but I'll definitely say that like the 90 day mark was very real. The feelings that I'm having are very, very real. And, prior to 90 days of sobriety, while I was still in it, I was wondering, am I gonna just feel like good feelings again? Am I gonna feel like wholesome feelings again? Am I gonna find joy in the things that I used to do? And the answer became yes. I figured out that like I have more of a, how do I say this? I have more of a capacity for patience now. I'm not saying that I'm the most patient person, but I have more patience now. And that's something that I had to look forward to, I thought, and it ended up being true. And that's something that I hope that, that you can look forward to, is actually having some nice feelings again, some wholesome feelings again, and feel like you can look forward to life again. And, rough mornings are still gonna be rough mornings. You're not gonna, just if you stop drinking, you're not gonna just all of a sudden love your job, right? You're not gonna all of a sudden love things that were kind of shitty to begin with, right? Those things aren't gonna change. So keep that in mind when we evaluate our feelings, and as we evaluate whether or not we wanna be still sober, if we wanna stay sober. And then also too, just keep in mind like the factors of the environment around you, what's actually happening, what's the evidence that what you're feeling is valid, and really try to deduce what it is that's causing you pain and what's causing you trauma, and eliminates all of those variables, as it were, and including probably most likely alcohol, right? So it definitely gets better, and I encourage you to keep pushing forward. Keep trying, keep commenting below. Let me know where you are on your journey, even if it's just you're doing day one all over again. Comment below. This is a community. There are other people that are down in the comments section besides myself that are willing to reach out and give some healthy advice and lend an ear. And if you need and you don't want to express any of your thoughts or concerns, down in the comment section, I always leave my email address, which is gettingsoberagain@gmail.com, at your disposal to use whenever you like, and I will try my best to get back to you in a timely manner. So be patient with me as we are all being patient with each other, okay? So that's all for today. Good luck on your journey, and I will see you in the next video.